Ladies and gentlemen, live from the famous ACME Comedy Theater in Hollywood, this is the ACME Radio Hour featuring the Liquid Radio Players. And now, please welcome to the stage, Mr. David Cox.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ACME Radio Hour starring the Liquid Radio Players! Bringing you the finest 1940s-style comedy available. Sadly, due to a horrible Zeppelin accident, our scripts have been lost, so there will be no show tonight. I'm sorry, there will be no refunds. Good night! I suppose we could just make something up. All right, then. Let's just gang together and we'll make something up from the top. Now, tonight is a fantastic detective story. So I need the title of tonight's story. The mystery of the blank or the case of the blank.
The case of the dark alley.
The case of the dark alley. Excellent. The case of the dark alley. Now, no show is complete without a cast, so we need to get some names from you. First of all, the name of a detective. What's the name of our detective?
John Steele.
John Steele, a very detective-y name. And now every detective story needs a mysterious female name. So what's a mysterious female name?
Fanny Thunder.
Fanny Thunder? It's not very mysterious, in fact, it's pretty much nail on the head. Really. Fine, Fanny Thunder is one of our characters. Now, let's have a foreign-sounding man's name.
Pierre.
Pierre what?
Dexworth.
Pierre Dexworth. Pierre Dexworth. Excellent. And now another sweet all-American lady's name.
Millie.
Millie what?
Millie Odell.
Millie Odell. Millie Odell. Fantastic. And now finally a one-word name.
Brock.
Brock. Excellent. We'll take Brock. And let's get another man's name. Another man's name.
Agner.
Abner Scher. Abner Scher is the name. Abner Scher. Now, as you know, radio isn't free, so we need some sponsors for tonight's show. First of all, what's something that you can buy here in the 1940s for under $1?
Oh. Chewing gum.
Chewing gum. Excellent. Fantastic. And what's your last name?
Cassillion.
Cassillion Chewing Gum. Cassillion Chewing Gum. Now, what's something you'd need to pay someone to do for you here in the 40s?
Diaper service.
Diaper service. Excellent. And what's the name of this diaper service?
Ruthie's diaper service.
Ruthie's Diaper Service. Good old Ruthie's Diaper Service. And finally, something that is a guilty pleasure here in the 40s.
Smoking.
Smoking. But what brand of cigarettes?
Arm
Arm &
& Hammer.
Hammer cigarettes. Arm & Hammer cigarettes. The cigarette that freshens your breath. Arm & Hammer. So tonight we will be presenting the case of the dark alley. With John Steele, Fanny Thunder, Pierre Dexworth, Millie Odell, Brock, and Abner Scher. Sponsored by Cassillion Chewing Gum, Ruthie's Diaper Service, and Arm & Hammer cigarettes. An excellent job, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep that applause going for yourselves throughout the course of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I can't do a show alone, so please put your hands together for the cast of the Liquid Radio Players! The Liquid Radio Players, the finest cast that we could afford. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting show for you tonight. I believe our scripts have been written in just that amount of time by our fantastic writers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, radio is the theater of the mind. Close your eyes for a moment, will you? And imagine yourself in an alternative world where in the distance, what's that? A freight train? Why, it's out of control, a runaway freight train. Because it's being driven by a monkey. A monkey with a cowbell. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a runaway simian locomotive. It's merely the sound effects of our fantastic sound engineer, Chuck Lotta. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are prepared. They've just given me the finger. We are on the air in 3, 2, 1. Mystery Theater! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Acme Theater of the Air, where each week we bring you another fantastic John Steele adventure. John Steele, played by Stephen Benequist. As always, as you remember, John Steele, once a detective on the New York police force, decorated in multiple conflicts by the armed services, but forced to retire in disgrace when he wouldn't take a bribe from a crooked mayor. Now he's forced to make his own way. And make his way he does. He's popular with the ladies, but not with those who would do ill. He's John Steele, detective. This week, the case of the Dark Alley. You know, folks, John Steele has wandered down a lot of alleys. Some of them well-lit, some of them reeking of Chinese food. But most of them dark and mysterious. And this week, he's going to wander down one of the darkest alleys it's ever been his pleasure to stumble down. What's that? A trash can. A trash can full of oatmeal. With a cat on it. That cat can't be as lonely as John Steele. Let's go upstairs to the 42nd floor of the Williamson building, where John Steele sits in his office. Across the desk from him, as always, is Millie Odell, his perky assistant, played by Kristen Truxas. She's jotting down the notes from his last case, a case that ended with a surprising twist.
I'll just jot these down on this typewriter.
Don't forget the whip marks on the face.
Oh, right.
That has to be one of the oddest cases of fraud I've ever seen. But we got to the bottom of it, didn't we?
You mean you got to the bottom of it, Mr. Steele?
He got to the bottom of that case as he was about to get to the bottom of that glass of gin.
Yeah, I think we should knock off for the night, Millie.
Okay. You sure you don't want me to refill that for you? And I could just sit here, right here on this desk and cross my long legs right in front of you and maybe light your cigarette for you?
As one of her knees crossed over the other, the hem of her dress slowly rode up to about mid-thigh, which was dangerous territory, even for a man who had fought overseas.
Ah, Millie, it's no good. I'm no good. You should go home. Take care of that sick mother of yours.
Oh, gee, Mr. Steele, you say you're no good, but you catch the bad guys. You tell me I should take care of my mother. Oh, geez, I think you're all good.
You can keep filling my drink all night and all tomorrow till tomorrow night, and then you'd never find the bottom.
Well, that's your one problem, and a good woman, maybe she could fix it or something.
She leaned over the desk, closer and closer. She started to get a little heady. Was it the closeness of John Steele, or was it the fumes coming out of his mouth from that bottle of gin he just finished off? But just as her lips were drawn closer and closer, like a magnet drawn to a hunk of steel, she was interrupted by the bell on his office door.
Mr. Steele, Oh!
Careful. There's a shadow on that glass behind you, and I don't like the looks of it.
It was a shapely shadow.
Or do I like the looks of it?
No, I'll get it.
Millie rushed to the door. She undid the locks. 1, 2, 3, 4, through 17.
That's it. Security first.
And there, standing framed in the doorway, was a tall drink of water. But if you like to drink, gentlemen, you're going to put your whiskey away because water, this tall, tastes good.
I'm looking for Steele.
The person or the substance? Funny, I've never said that before. John Steele, at your service, Miss.
Thunder. Fanny Thunder.
You know, I served a little while in England just after the war, and that name would elicit a lot of giggles over there. But we're not in England, are we?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Geez, Miss Thunder, that's an awful swell fur coat you got on there, and my goodness, those diamond earrings, why, I'm almost blinded by them.
Thanks, sweetheart. Why don't you put yourself to good use and hang my fur coat up? You
She
can
tossed
try
it.
on first if you like.
She tossed it through the air, and it sailed like a bear who'd been shot out of a tree and landed.
So soft.
Wait a minute. The way you threw that coat.
Yeah.
The name Fanny Thunder rings a bell now.
He opened up his desk drawer, reached inside, and pulled out an issue of Variety and threw it on the desk. And there, smiling from the front page, was Fanny.
You were an heiress and also an Olympian discus thrower. 1932.
That's right. I still am. An heiress, that is. I'm no longer an Olympian discus thrower.
Who's an Olympian, always an Olympian.
You're growing on me, sweetheart.
Yeah, she does that like lichen on a rock.
You like me.
You could say that, sweetheart.
Mr. Steele, can we speak privately?
Sure. Millie can hear anything that I can, but if it makes you uncomfortable, Millie, why don't you go make yourself useful and finish typing up the notes?
All right, I'll take the typewriter out into the hall and crouch.
Good. Load it on your shoulders. There you
Okay.
go. Easy.
Nice meeting ya.
You too.
What's on your mind, sister?
I'd like a glass of scotch to be on my mind, and under my mind, and around my mind, and...
In front of your face like it is right now?
It was like a magic trick. John Steele reached out, and suddenly in his glass was a tall glass of whiskey.
You're fast, Steele. Are you as fast with your wits as you are with a bottle?
He quoted a quick limerick.
There once was a man from Massachusetts. Oh, nothing rhymes with that. He drank so fast, he once loosed it. He kept on drinking, and then he started thinking, is this my car's, or whose is it?
What do you take me for, Steele?
Ow! I deserve that.
A limerick that bad, I ought to have you arrested and shot. Not necessarily in that order.
Years of throwing discus had caused her right arm to grow to the strength of at least 2 men. His head spun around, and as he came around the other side, he saw exactly how lovely she was.
Boy, for a dame with arms like Popeye, you could open my can of spinach any day.
Let's stop beating around the bush, Steele. Listen, I'm sorry to grab you by the lapels, but I gotta get your attention.
All right, easy.
Come close, Mr. Steele. I don't trust many people, but I'm gonna take a chance with you. Because I got nowhere else to turn, see? I'm what you might call desperate.
Somebody got something on you?
You could say.
Somebody throwing a discus that you can't catch? Which generally people don't.
John Steele knew a lot of things, but he didn't know a lot about Olympic sports.
You don't catch it yourself, Steele, you just throw it. But how would you know that?
I wouldn't. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I do know how to get people off of other people's backs, how to solve crimes, how to figure out who murdered whom, and proper grammar.
Someone's putting the squeeze on me, Steele. They're putting the squeeze on real bad. Look at this letter I got.
Ah, it's in cut-up letters.
That's right. It's all crazy-like.
From the looks of it, someone is a fan of pulp magazines. Fiction about dicks solving crimes.
Fiction's about me, too. Do you see what it says? Do you see what it accuses me of?
He read it out loud. He couldn't believe what it said.
Open quote, dear. Close quote, Fanny Thunder. Someone is sarcastic. You are an heiress to a great catch-up fortune. We know this. We, it might be more than one person. Meet us by the wharf. Wharf 39, October 29th. Do not bring a discus. Bring $1,000. Why, that's a king's ransom. even a king of ketchup, or a queen.
Do you see what it says at the bottom? P.S. I know who you really are.
You something you're not telling me, or you've not always been Fanny Thunder?
Why, I've always been who I've said I am.
Listen, if we're gonna work together, I gotta know everything. You gotta be straight with me, sister.
You're hurting me.
Take this.
Oh.
A little dose of your own medicine.
His slap was so much weaker than Fanny's that he felt like half a man.
That's not my drinking arm.
You grazed my cheek so tenderly. All right, Mr. Steele, I'll tell you the truth. I wasn't always Fanny Thunder. I used to be a nightclub singer. Nightclub being a loosely used word. It was some kind of dump, I'll tell you. But I had to get out. I had to get out of the hole I was living in, and I had to pull myself up by my own bootstraps to do it. And then I was discovered. I was discovered by a man whose last name is Thunder.
Well, there you go, and now you're hiding behind the dignified title of ketchup heiress, where the whole world looks up to you, thinks of you as high society. You and your tomatoey treats.
Maybe I did a few things I'm not so proud of, but I try to do good now. I try to do right by the Thunder name.
She pulled out a sweater she'd knitted for an orphan.
How come the orphan doesn't have it anymore?
Because if he did, then I wouldn't be able to show people that I'd done it. What, are you stupid?
You're a complicated woman, but show me the envelope that letter came in, and maybe we'll find some clues.
Here.
Why, there's a return address. That's odd. Wharf 29, Hut 3. Time to investigate.
What do you charge, Steele?
$10 a day, plus expenses.
All right. That's steep, but you better be worth it.
Oh, I'll show you what I'm worth. We'll meet again in 48 hours, and I'll tell you what I've got.
Until then, Steele, this is Thunder rumbling out.
Where there's thunder, there's rain.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have children at home and their thunder is rumbling out, then perhaps you need to turn to Ruthie's Diaper Service.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brian St. Giovanni, and I'm here with an endorsement of Ruthie's Diaper Removal Service. With me is a true scientist and a home psychologist to elaborate on the matter. Sir?
Yes, I have found that a clean-smelling baby is a happy baby. Why, this requires use of a diaper service. If you use Ruthie's Diaper Service, a healthy and well-adjusted baby is guaranteed for even the most poor family.
That's right, America. And what sets Ruthie's Diaper Removal Service apart from other parody brand competitors is that when you order today, you will receive a free baby figurine with every delivery.
The baby will identify with this figurine and will fill it with all its good thoughts.
So remember, when you hire Ruthie, you hire a promise. Thank you, Ruthie's Diaper Delivery Service.
Ruthie's Diaper Service. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 4 out of 5 experts recommend Ruthie's Diaper Service. The 5th recommends just dunking your baby in a tub of dirty, dirty water. Who will you listen to? That crazy dunking man? No. Listen to 4 experts say Ruthie's, 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 Ruthie's. The next morning, John Steele is down by the riverside at a restaurant known as Wharf 39. His young assistant and secretary, Millie Odell, is disguised as his wife. And they're nosing around the Wharf 39 Club. And there behind the bar is Pierre Dexworth, the owner.
Millie, that brunette wig makes you look much more like my wife than your normal blonde hair.
Thank you. I'm going to talk in a slower registered voice so no one will think that I do not.
That's
Don't
just
worry.
how my wife would sound, and does sound. Hello.
Hey, strangers, what do you have?
I would like a cup of coffee, please.
A little coffee. And for the gentleman?
I'd like some eggs over easy and some coffee over medium.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Cheese it?
Right away, boss.
Cup of Joe and chickens on a life raft. Order up.
Oh.
I must say, I don't see a lot of people of your particular kind come around this wharf much often.
Oh, what kind is that?
The scarred kind. Sometimes physically, but also the emotional kind. I can see by the piercing glow in your eyes that you're a beautiful couple, newlyweds.
His accent was almost perfect, but it was clear he wasn't a native English speaker.
I once came from a loving family myself.
This is an interesting place. You serve breakfast, and yet you also have a show. Do people
Yes.
sing and dance? Honey, ask them what is going on.
This does. I know, it's not a woman's place to ask questions, so.
I was about to say something, but...
Yeah, well, I'll take care of her when we leave.
Order up. Pierre. Tout sweet. Tout sweet.
Yeah, I got it here.
I didn't want to know too sweet. What? Oh, the eggs.
Just a vernacular for the delicacy, sir.
So, yeah, I see you have a stage there. Do you have some sort of burlesque act, some puppet show? What do you have?
Yeah, if I had my way, we'd have a wonderful burlesque act every night. But our star performer seems to have been missing for some time.
Really?
Yeah.
And who, pray tell, would that be?
Yeah, she called herself Lady Thunder, at least for a while.
Please, honey, it's not polite to gasp.
The pieces of this puzzle were coming together pretty quick. Like a puzzle with 3 pieces.
The coffee was very hot, honey.
Yes, could you please cool the coffee down?
Yeah, I have a fan in my pocket here. Let me get that out. Just blow that over the mug.
Please get anything out of your pocket to blow in my
What's,
coffee.
I see that there's a dried up pool on the, let me just walk over to this stage here. It seems as though someone's been bleeding on this stage.
Take a look at that there. Oh, no, this was just a grease. Yes, grease from the scenery changes. The gears, the pulleys from the curtains. Every now and then, has to apply liberally some grease to the wheels, yes.
All right, well, that's fine. We'll just enjoy our eggs and our slightly cooler coffee. Thanks for your help.
And remember, if you need anything, ask Pierre. Ask Pierre.
Notice how he said police instead of pulleys. I think he's from somewhere foreign.
I don't trust him. I don't like the looks of him. And you know what? She's been gone an awful long time, and he still hasn't replaced her. Maybe that means he thinks she's coming back.
Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, Pierre Dexworth was talking to a hulking figure of a man and telling him that things were not going well.
Now then, my able-bodied friend, my disguise with the American accent is waning much more than I thought.
Yeah, Mr. Duckworth, you're not gonna be fooling no one.
I know. Where brains have failed, brawn must succeed. I was hoping John Steele would be evading us much less time, but he is already on our trail.
Yeah, well, if you want, I'll sneak back in the alley and then John Steele smash.
Yes, but make it look like an accident.
Yeah, Brock make look like accident. Smash hard!
Thank you, Brock. I knew I had your brutish muscles to rely on.
Yeah.
He snapped his fingers and a waitress came over.
Waitress.
Yeah, what do you want?
A bottle of cognac, please.
Coming right up.
Make it snappy.
Hey.
Wait. Let me look into your eyes. You see this, Brock? I love to look into a woman's eyes. Ever since Lady Thunder left me, I have been alone, bereft of love.
Penny Thunder broke your heart.
But the passion in Pierre Dexworth's eyes caused Agnes the waitress to melt and collapse to the floor in a forlorn, lovelorn heap.
At first it gave me the creeps, but now...
I do have a way with words, my dear, but please, cognac first.
She fell heavily like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, dear. I must stop fraternizing with this staff.
What was that?
Meanwhile, back out front, a curious and now suspicious John Steele pulled Millie aside and told her his plan.
Oh, my arm. Oh, my arm.
Listen, I was just in the gentleman's room and I saw some pulp fiction magazines that were cut up. I think maybe we found just the right place. And did you hear that falling sound in the back?
No?
Well, they're either chopping a mighty big steak, which we didn't order, or somebody's been sapped.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what should we do? Call the police?
Well, there was something in that foreigner's eyes, the one you didn't trust. I think he might be onto us. I'm going to make myself vulnerable, maybe go out into a dark, vulnerable place like the alley, and see what happens.
Oh, Mr. Steele, I don't want you to be vulnerable. I don't want you to be that thing.
You take the keys to the motorcycle and the sidecar. You can follow me if anything should happen.
In the sidecar?
No. Well, you'll need both to get where you're going. But especially the motorcycle. Really
right.
concentrate on the motorcycle. That has the engine in it.
Engine check. All right, listen, I'll do it. But please, please don't let anything happen to you in that dark, dark alley. It's not worth it.
You're right, sweetheart. I'll just go outside for a cigarette in the alley.
Goodbye. See you later, husband.
Love you, sweetheart.
I do love you, husband.
Right over my head.
He opened the door and stepped into the alley. And there, waiting behind some trash cans, was Brock.
Well, I certainly am alone.
They say you're the Man of Steel, but Superman lives in my comic book.
What that? Who's that lurking behind the dumpster?
You're light for a grown man.
He lifted him high above his head and spun him around like a basketball.
Let's see how you take a punch. Oh! Oh no. Mr. Dexworth! I think I might have killed another one!
Dexworth rushed into the alley.
I think he might be with the angels.
Oh, Brock, you were supposed to beat him within an inch of his life. We need his cooperation.
Oh, his tummy's moving.
Great. We'll take him back into the bar.
Oh.
And Brock, for your incompetence, this.
It tickles when you hit me like that.
Do not fail me again, or you will receive more than just a tickle.
Dexworth dropped the other half of the pool cue he'd broken across Brock's noggin and went back into the bar. To find it deserted.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, that girl. The girl that was with John Steele. If I can just find a way to get at her. Bring her within my clutches. Then I can use her as bait. Yes. Bait for John Steele. And then perhaps, if I mold her in just a way, I could fashion... my monologuing. Who is it?
He picked up the phone. There was a surprising voice on the other side.
Hello?
Yes, this is Pierre.
Pierre Dexter?
Yes.
Dexworth, this is Abner Shell. Perhaps you don't know me.
I've only heard your name spoken in dark circles.
Yes.
What do you want with the likes of me?
Well, I understand you have a certain talent working at your diner/burlesque habits.
I did. She escaped me long ago, and I have made it my life's mission to get her back.
Oh, you have an opening then?
We do, yes.
You looking for a singer, perhaps?
Yes.
Well, then I might have to come down and audition for you.
What? You and your patronizing tone do not cross the likes of Pierre Dexworth.
Listen, I don't presume that you want me to sing for you, but I mean this act. But I did say audition.
I enjoy a curious opportunity. When can you be by the place?
Well, I just have to talk to my chauffeur. I would say about tonight at 7.
Good. Not a moment too late. It is then.
Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you're auditioning cigarettes. Or chewing gum. No, cigarettes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about a new, fantastic cigarette that's just available to the market. Arm & Hammer cigarettes.
Hi, this is Nurse Jenny Lynn Simpson, and this is a patient in my ER. I need to calm him down. He's awfully nervous about that big cut on his leg. Sir, here, try an Arm & Hammer cigarette to calm you down and prepare you for what lies ahead in this emergency room.
Well, all right, nurse. Do you have a light?
Of course, right here next to the oxygen tank.
Okay. Let me just hold it up to this hole in my throat from my tracheotomy. I'm not really too nervous about surgery above the chest, but my legs have been pristine my whole life. There we go.
Take a long, healthful, energizing, relaxing puff on that cigarette.
It hit the spot.
Now tell me, don't you feel relaxed and calm and ready for just about anything?
I sure do. This is much better than my usual brand. This is making me feel full of pep and vigor.
And relaxed at the same time.
Yes, hyper yet calm. What brand is this, nurse?
This is Arm & Hammer. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're trying out a new cigarette, please try Arm & Hammer. You'll be full of pep and yet completely relaxed, as if you were in a dead, dead sleep. Thanks, Arm & Hammer.
Thanks.
Arm & Hammer cigarettes. Yes, Arm & Hammer cigarettes. What that little box of baking soda can do to your refrigerator, it can now do to your lungs. 4 out of 5 doctors now recommend Arm & Hammer cigarettes. The 5th doctor just recommends you dunk your lungs in a big pool of water. We are sending him back to Ruthie's. Ladies and gentlemen, Arm & Hammer cigarettes. Just at that moment, while poor John Steele was being loaded into a bag and stuffed under his stage, Millie Odell was back at his office, searching through the desk for a pistol to go rescue him. When suddenly, a very feminine hand with a very masculine forearm laid a .38 on the desk by her nose.
Oh, good. I can't believe I missed it. It was right here by my own little nose. His own 30. Oh.
Just stop right there. Don't move. Don't say a word. Don't make unintelligible syllable sounds. I'm not stupid. And I take it neither are you. Nobody could be that stupid. You must be acting. All right, where is he? Where's Steele? Now you may speak.
I don't know. I'm not acting, I swear.
Jeez, you're really that dumb?
I'm not dumb. I just have this voice. Why does everybody judge me?
Her knees were knocking like a door-to-door broom salesman.
Listen, I know he's working for you, and I know he was trying to help you. He went into a dark alley. I think there's only one in the city. So if you could find it.
Yeah, I know the one.
That dark alley.
The dark one, sure.
Yeah, it's not so long, you know.
It's short.
It's a short alley, but it's very dark.
I know exactly the one you're talking about. Listen.
Yeah?
Sweet cheeks.
I was going to go save him. I needed a gun. But
I got here first.
Yeah.
I need a little insurance. And you're just the kind of blonde insurance I need. You're coming with me.
Are we going to go save him?
Something like that. Don't make any false moves or get any wise ideas.
She put the wool sweater. She put the wool sweater she knitted for an orphan over her. Doused her with water and the sweater shrunk immobilizing her.
Now come with me. Keep it down.
Meanwhile, down at Wharf 39, Pierre Dexworth was looking at a stage where an enormously fat man named Abner Scher was arranging sheet music.
Oh, I must have my signature song here somewhere. Oh, how did this pulp magazine get in with my music? That's garbage. Who would read that?
Wait. Do not throw that out, my good man. I like to read them.
Oh, you do, huh? This one has accidentally been cut up. Perhaps some neighbor child went through my trash. But you may have it. Go right ahead.
Oh, thank you. As a young boy, to assimilate myself into American culture, I would read them.
Assimilate? Are you saying that you're foreign?
Yes. I sometimes hide my shame, as trying to convince the world that French superiority is a good thing. I have failed.
Y'all keep rolling over and capitulating in wars, but other than that, your food is very fatty, and other than that, you had a revolution and then you kind of reversed yourself.
Yes. There'll be time for history classes and pleasantries later. Play your song.
I don't mean to make a wrong impression. I suppose your accompanist might not know this song, but I'll do it a cappella.
Pierre sat down and nibbled a lobster aspic.
It's a little something I wrote myself. Do you believe in life after love?
At just that moment, the door burst open, and there, framed in the doorframe, were two dames.
No one said there'd be women here.
Well, the audition. Well, it is Lady Thunder. You have returned at last.
That's not my name anymore, Pierre. It's Fanny.
She aimed a gun at his prominent nose.
Well, you are my star act, and I just wanted to maintain business, yes?
Listen, I left this life a long time ago, and I will not have you drag me back down into it. It's been you, hasn't it? You sending me those letters. You stalking me. You, the shape outside my window at night.
Well, no, I enjoy the reading in the comics, but I did not do such a thing.
It was me.
Brock grabbed the pistol in his left hand, crushing it as he would a tin.
Don't admit it, Brock. They never would have known.
No.
How do they know I do that?
You shut up, mumble lady.
I have a sweater on my hair. How do they know each other?
Brock want to say, Pierre not only one who heartbroken when Miss Thunder leave.
This is absurd. Brock, I could never love you, and Pierre, I could never love you.
But Brock love you. Brock no good right, but Brock good with scissor. So Brock cut letter out of book to send love letter to Miss Thunder.
I can't be associated with the likes of you, any of you. Now you listen here. This is going to stop right now.
But at that moment, she gazed Pierre Dexworth in the eyes, his swimmy, dreamy Parisian eyes.
You say you are leaving.
That's right, Pierre.
Do you speak the truth? You know that French men are experts in the ways of amour.
I feel like I'm on the Champs-Élysées suddenly.
Yes. You having second thoughts about your career change? If you could turn back time, would you change things?
Well, I don't know.
Thick-headed though he is, Brock is right. You are just a ketchup heiress, a woman behind a mask, a money-driven mask. But here you had life, here you had purpose.
Fanny felt herself drawn closer and closer, and Brock felt the rage rising higher and higher.
No! Brock heartbreak again! Brock man! Oh, now Brock run away. Brock go back to living with gypsy
He picked Abner up, threw him over his shoulder, and sprinted out.
I got you, babe. You too.
That left two girls alone in a bar, one of them wrapped in a wet sweater.
This whole time I thought this sweater was over my face, and it wasn't. I was just wrapped in it. It's so cozy, I thought it was all the way up to my eyeballs.
You're so stupid, I can't take it anymore. Stop!
They heard a thudding underneath the stage.
What's that? I think that's my boss. I can tell his mumbly moaning anywhere.
What's this bag moving under here?
Use one of your big strong arms to lift up that big piece of wood and get him out.
All right, here we go.
She did, and she tore the potato sack open with one of her knitting needles. And there, laying bruised and bound, was John Steele.
Oh, Mr. Steele, you're alive and you solved the case.
I did. Millie Fanny, I know the answer to this whole problem. I know who's behind it. It was that Brock.
You're a day late and $1 short, Steele. Make that $10 short, because I'm not paying you for a job you didn't do. I think you two deserve each other.
Woo!
You both got brains as swell as mashed potatoes. But I know where I'm going. Back to the life of an heiress. No seedy nightclubs for me anymore. No short, dark alleys. I'm walking down this one. Straight back to where the Bank of Thunder Ketchup is located.
And with that, she turned in a swirl of lavender perfume and a mink stole and walked out of their lives forever.
Just like a ketchup heiress, walking out without paying the bill.
What a dame. I bet we could have been the best of friends.
Yeah, but you could never arm wrestle it.
That's true, and I can't be friends with people I can't arm wrestle.
That's one thing about you that I've always admired.
Yeah? What else have you admired?
Why, the way you can ride in a sidecar. The way you can carry a typewriter on one shoulder. The way you can save me from danger and death time and again.
At just that moment, a bloody Italian waving a cleaver ran in and asked John Steele for help.
Oh, help me, Mr. Steele! Help me!
Not again. We were just getting to the good part.
Tune in next week for the case of the bloody Italian. Another John Steele adventure. The Liquid Radio Players, Brian Giovanni, Kristen Traxis, Kimberly Lewis, Steve Benequist, Michael Perkins, Chuck Lotta on sound, Jonathan Green on keyboards, Joshua Pedger and Mike Fox in the booth. I'm Dave Cox. Join us next week for another fabulous Liquid Radio Players adventure. Good night!